What a time to be alive. That was a crazy assassination attempt. Let's take a look at the FBI. What are they saying?
Evy Poumpouras, she's a former Secret Service agent. Evy, good morning. I want to put up this map of the farm grounds where this event was held last night. So the elevated position where the shooter was set up was about 150 yards from the stage where former President Trump was speaking. As a former Secret Service agent, are you surprised that building wasn't better secured?
So when you do a security plan, you've got the main security, right? The security perimeter where there's the magnetometers, where people are being checked as they're entering the event. You have the outer perimeter, when you have an open rally like this, you are extremely vulnerable. I've done these. They're probably the most anxious you're ever going to be as an agent because you're trying to secure all of it. Now, the adjacent buildings, you do this in urban environments, you do this in a rural environment like this. When you do a security plan, you literally put yourself on stage and then you look out as if you were the protectee. What can I see? And if I can see it, it can probably see me. Now, for an outer perimeter like that, typically you will have a local law enforcement presence. You'll notice those buildings. And the Secret Service works with local police. You have to think of the Secret Service like they're the conductor of the orchestra. They create the blueprint and design for the security plan. They work with state police. They work with local police. And then they put in resources and assets.
So in the typical scenario or in the scenario that one wishes would have unfolded, would you have had perhaps a local official secure that roof to make sure the roof is clear, make sure nobody's in the building, and then stand guard there so no one comes in after that clearing?
So we don't know if they did or did not do this.
Yes, but they should have.
I would presume you should have a local police presence in that area. Now, could you have put somebody on that rooftop? You could have. The other element is the counter sniper team. So as far as we know, we see a two-man team from the Secret Service side. As we were discussing prior before we started speaking, they are looking at everything. They have to cover 360 degrees. So I know a lot of folks are like, how could they not see this? I think one of the issues is if it is a two-man team, think about what they are consistently covering. So local law enforcement, definitely. But again, we don't know if somebody was or wasn't positioned. Now, if there was no coverage there whatsoever, that's going to be an issue. Why weren't those adjacent buildings looked at? They are very close, yes.
And if there was somebody stationed there from local law enforcement outside the building where the shooter was, as you consider the possibilities, how could he have gotten up there?
So as I look at this, and again, just from a preliminary assessment without having all the details, it seems to me what I would presume before the president goes up on stage, they secure the area. There's communication. Essentially, are we good to go? Is he good to get up on stage? I would presume that everything was in the clear. I would think that nobody was on that rooftop. What I suspect, and again, I'm suspecting that after he got up on stage, that's when the shooter took position. There's a little bit of a slant at that rooftop. Also, some of the photos show that he's dressed in colors matching that rooftop and building to camouflage a bit himself. So I'm suspecting he took position after President Trump spoke, then engaged.
It's easy in hindsight to say, oh, why wasn't this done or that done? And let's just acknowledge that as we have this conversation. But it is interesting because there were eyewitnesses who said they were actually positioned kind of outside the rally, but were just listening, and that they saw the gunman up with the rifle flying around. They were trying to tell some of the local officials that they saw there.
Yeah, somebody got to get fired because they were saying they see somebody with a gun, but yet crazy, they didn't do anything.
Is there a way to communicate? I mean, these are split-second decisions, but for example, if there had been a state police officer outside on that outer perimeter and someone said, there's a guy up there with a gun, can that message get communicated to Secret Service quickly? Are they all on the same comms?
So really what the issue is, that person that was trying to communicate, were they actually verbally speaking to someone, or were they trying to get somebody's attention? When you're doing these rallies, you're looking at thousands of people. Yeah. How much law enforcement do you have? Do you have one officer or one law enforcement official to what? 1,000? And are they able to get that person's attention? Guys, at the end of the day too, and I think this is going to come up during the hearing, resources, money, this all costs something. So when you're doing these security advances, you are negotiating. I mean, there are times where I need 75 agents, and it'll come back. It's like, you know what? we don't have the resources or the funds, or we need these folks to be somewhere else. Can you do it with X amount of people? And it's not just the Secret Service, it's going to be law enforcement. Their resources are tapped as well.
This is making the Secret Service look bad. Some heads are going to roll. People are going to get fired.
So, Evy, quickly, let's talk about the aftermath of the shooting. You see the agents rush the stage, keep the former president on the ground. Then he stands up. What do you see in those images as he pumps his fist to the crowd, exposes himself again, and then moves toward the car?
So if we just break this down as the shooting is happening, we hear the shots being fired. President Trump goes down, he takes cover. And it's also very likely when you look at that banner, there's like this banner around that stage. That tends to be some type of steel that's there by design for an incident like this so that the protectee can hit the ground and take cover. We see the agents come in now from the sides, and their job is, that's the
And look at the two photographers. They took the best pictures the whole event.
shift. That's what's called the shift. They come in and they are the armor. They're the ones who are literally going to come around. They're going to secure his body. The goal is now, if any additional shots are fired, they take the impact of those shots. They bring him back down. Now you can hear them too. If you're listening to the audio, you can hear them talking on comms. Is it clear? Are we good to go? Because they want to take him from where he's at and they want to move him to the vehicles. Anytime you're open, and if we look at previous assassinations or assassination attempts, Reagan, JFK, just the most recent ones, always outside, right? Always line of sight issues. So they've got him secure. Once they hear the go, you can go. So I'm assuming for them to get the go, somebody probably told them the threat has been neutralized, right? You're not going to move unless you kind of know what's going on. They pick him up and you can hear the president. It's interesting, just from a human behavior perspective, you hear the president saying, where are my shoes? Where are my shoes?
I want to get those shoes. Those shoes must be worth like $1 million.
People are commenting on, is that an odd thing to say? You also have to think about the stress and impact of what just happened.
Yeah.
And he's just,
You know how much money he could sell those shoes for?
It's a kind of like a very human, simple thing to think of.
You can hear on the radio too that they say the shooter is down. So clearly they felt that the threat was neutralized and they could safely move. But as an agent, I mean, the president now with this iconic act of defiance, holding up his fist and literally sticking his neck out into the open again. But if you're an agent right then and there, are you just wishing you could just whisk him off to the car?
Well, I saw that and I saw that. I can understand why he's doing it from that perspective. But from the other perspective, I'm thinking, we know one shooter is down.
Right.
You don't know if there are other shooters. And then the other thing is when you move him to the vehicles, you want to make sure, does he have any other shots within him and check him.
Evy, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Evy.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show.
That's crazy. Left-wing media. Now, here's a video of a guy saying that this was orchestrated. Because now the conspiracy theory comes out. He wrote, this clip is confirmed for me that this was orchestrated, an attempt to manufacture hysteria and gain public sympathy support. They playing dirty this election. So they're calling the whole incident fake. That's crazy. This guy over here, I said what I said. Trying to go viral by saying that the whole incident was fake. The pictures coming out, fist raised, American flag in the background, bloodied ear. This is staged. But somebody died at the event also. Was that staged? This is crazy. So, you're going to have a lot of people come out calling this whole thing fake. Let me see if I can find another video.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party. And we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there.
Look at this lady.
I lived in Harlem. That shit was more staged than a Tyler Perry production of Medea Runs for President. I lived in Harlem long enough to know that gunshots do not sound like making popcorn on the stove. Pop, pop, pop. Where'd the blood come from? So in theater, in movies, they have what's called blood pellets. They even, people use them in Halloween. It's basically a pellet of fake blood that's in your mouth. And when you crush it, the blood comes out. To be frank, Small Hands Trump would not respond by raising his fist in the air triumphantly were an actual attempt made on his life. This was, I believe, done to try to show his strength counter to Biden's fragility.
Nobody likes that actress because she's so fake. Right, in the last video I'm going to show. All right, the audio is not working. I was going to play the other guy, but the audio is not working. I don't know why. But yes, conspiracy theory is going to come out now. People saying that it was all fake, that it was all staged. So it's not crazy because if it was Biden, y'all would be saying the same. It wasn't a Dem or illegal. It was a Republican. So what? It was a crazy nut. The guy almost messed up the plan. All right, so the audio is not working. So that's why I'm not going to play the other guy. Anyway, I wanted to get this video off because we're living in some crazy times. Trump 2024. The man is going to win on a landslide now. He survived an assassination attempt. Who does that? The audio is not working. All right. Let me try to fix the audio. See you guys later. Trump 2024. Remember to vote. This is crazy. Peace.